Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a special edition of Speak on the Podcast Post Game Live. I am your host, Big Mike. We are running a little late, but we are here live in the building after Game 1 of the NBA Finals. Celtics Warriors Game 1 is in the books. We're going to get right to it. Got my man, the mad producer, Podcast Poppy, in the building.
A little late. It's my fucking birthday now.
We got our man, our special Boston correspondent. He's back again. Of course, he had to pop up tonight because the Celtics got the dub. Blackheart's in the building. Yes. There we go. There you go.
Happy birthday, Podcast Poppy, Mike. Salty motherfucker.
Yo, you know Blackheart was trying desperately to get on here when he's calling me. He's like, "Where's Mike at? Where's Mike?" And I'm like,
listen, man. Listen, dog. I had to come talk my shit. My
man said, I'm gonna take a break.
I'm pulling up on site. I'm pulling off site in a uniform just to do this shit. My nigga, like, no, we out here.
But we also have a special guest for you tonight on the Section 5 podcast. Got my man Trey in the building. What's good, homie?
Yo, what's good? Happy birthday. Happy birthday.
And little that you can't say, Mike. Shout out, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to Cuzzo over here, man. My cousin Trey on the Section 5 pod. He's doing his thing. Go check out his stuff too. Everywhere that you get your podcast from, the whole 9 yards, man. Let's do this.
Yeah. Welcome.
It's a family thing, man.
Feeling? It's a family affair tonight. How you feeling?
Yes, it is.
I'm feeling good, man. It's good to be up at almost 1 o'clock in the morning. Talking ball, man. It's great right about now. As you can see, I got on my Celtics hat. Celtics up 1-0 in this series. I did call it before the game started. I said that the Celtics could go into Golden State, steal game 1. Totally thought it was possible, and they did it.
I think that's the perfect way to describe tonight, as they stole game 1, because it wasn't looking good for about 3 quarters there. It was looking a little shaky.
Yeah, man.
Shout out to Ime, man.
On fire.
Shout out to Ime. I didn't think he was going to be able to make. I'm not even going to be able to make the adjustments because that would be me talking shit on him as a coach, because I do think he's a really good coach, but I didn't think he'd be able to be that effective that quickly in that turnaround, because literally the first 3 quarters, like the first quarter 1, Steph Curry with 15 is just ridiculous. Second quarter, a little bit lighter, and then third quarter, he just picks up right where he left off. And I didn't know what Boston was doing defensively. Playing this drop coverage on screens against a 3-point shooting team is just not going to work.
Especially the greatest 3-point shooter ever.
Like watching Time Lord just kind of casually sit back and wait for Steph to drive, like that was actually going to be the game plan. Steph Curry's going to be driving to the basket all night was shocking, to say the least. But then Boston goes on this run in the fourth quarter where it seems like every 3-pointer that they ended up making total of the game just seemed like it was in the fourth quarter. Like, literally, that's how it went. Al Horford going 6 for 8 from 3 is just mind-blowing how Golden State just forgot to play perimeter defense.
I don't even know if it was that. Like, because I feel like a lot of them shots were contested. Like,
so there was 3 shots in particular that were contested. There was the Derek White threes.
Yep.
That were contested, and then there was the one Al Horford shot where Clay was within 2 feet and got there. Every other Al Horford shot was just wide open. Just kind of there in a corner off of an offensive rebound, or just them just crashing too hard middle. But literally, Al Horford going 6 for 8, and Derek White made every timely shot that he could possibly make.
Every shot. Kept
every time
fucking
shot.
Shocked the fuck out of me too. When you start seeing him doing that, you're like, wait, now you kind of like wish, like, what the fuck was that during the last like the last series in like a half? But then now you're on a whole game plan. You're at the final boss. You're at the final stage. So you need some of those key bench players to come out and really be effective with these games. And then, as you see, Tatum didn't even play that well tonight.
Tatum played
So
awful.
that shocked me. So that's when I'm like, okay, if Tatum's not going to be playing well, and then you got to rely on Jalen, Horford, and Smart, we might not even try to escape away with this win. But then that's when you seen White start coming out to play. Then you start picking up on the defense a little bit more. So just like you, Poppy, I was kind of doubting the fourth quarter. Man, okay, maybe we're going to try to at least get close. But usually game ones are usually it's usually like to test out your opponent to see make the adjustments for game two, and then that's when you go in full range attack.
Mm-hmm.
But this one, however, they say no, fuck this. We're not giving them no open opportunity and get a 1-0 over on us and they home court. Because if they do, so we're gonna be going home 0-2. So they already know that we gotta steal this shit. Or if not this game, then at least game two was what I thought it was gonna be a 1-on-1 series.
This series, I kind of like. I know I can't go back on my pick now, but I kind of want to. And the only reason I want to is because this reminds me of that Raptors series, Raptors Golden State, where Fred VanVleet had little baby Freddie, and he went nuclear for the rest of the playoffs after his son was born. I don't know if the listeners know or you guys remember, Derek White had a kid in the middle of that last playoff round.
Yep.
And it seems like right when he came back, he didn't have a bad game again. And I'm like, I saw the game tonight, and I was just scrolling through Twitter, and they're like, oh, he's made this many threes since having his child. I'm like, oh, this Fred VanVleet all over again. I know how this goes. I know exactly how this goes. You get a kid, and then you go fucking nuclear in the playoffs and the finals. Like, I get it. So now it's like, well, if this is the Derek White we're going to be getting all series, then, like, this could be a problem. this could very much still be a problem. Like, and I picked Golden State in 6. But, like, it wouldn't surprise me if this went 7 or if Boston won this series, right? This is not the indictment. I've been rocking ever since Boston beat us. I picked Boston to go to the finals because I think Ime Udoka is one of the best coaches in basketball as a whole because he does on-the-fly switches that tonight was in Boston's favor, which I thought was going to be more of a game 2 adjustment, like Blackheart was saying. And he came out, made the correct adjustments. They started blitzing off of screens as opposed to just sagging off and giving up whatever the hell they want. Steph went scoreless in the 4th, and they got hot.
Mm-hmm.
And, like, it's not even at the fault of, like, Golden State really playing bad either. Golden State didn't play, like, terrible in the 4th quarter. It's just they couldn't get stops. After a while, it was just Boston and Golden State just exchanging baskets. There was, I think, 5 straight possessions where it was 3-3-3, layup, 3. Or whatever, how many that is, and it's just like, oh man, nobody's getting stops, and then Boston finally got a stop,
17 points,
and it was over. Yeah, it was over.
Yeah, despite everything Steph Curry did in the first quarter, the Celtics still stuck in there, and then the second quarter held him to 0 points. Like he was scoreless in the second quarter. That second half, he didn't do too much at all.
Another 15.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean, Steph Curry is the reason why Golden State was in the game. Otto Porter is the reason why the Golden State Warriors were in the game. It was 4 for 12 with 12 points, 4 for 5 with 12 points. All were threes.
And Wiggins played great too. Wiggins played great, and then Clay gave you what he's been doing. Like Anthony in our group chat was saying, like Clay with 15 points isn't going to cut it. I'm like, Klay Thompson for 15 points has been cutting it all playoffs. Like that is what Klay is right now. And then he'll have the occasional game where he'll give you 30.
Because you had the additions of Andrew Wiggins and Jordan Poole taking that load off his shoulders. So even if you may expect Klay to try to go off for 25, that might even happen like that.
Like next time that might be
right now.
2 for 5 for Otto Porter, and Iguodala might not hit that corner 3.
Mm-hmm. Like Klay's not that 25-point a scorer guy right now because he's coming back from 2 major Achilles injuries and has only been playing since January. Like he's not that. Maybe next year at this time, if they're still playing, he could be that. But as of right now, he's a 15 points a game guy who still could play really good defense, and he played really good defense tonight. They all did. But it's just like up until the 4th quarter where they just forgot to close out on shooters.
And to your point,
Boston did a great job.
I think the key to this game was that Jordan Poole played terrible. and there wasn't his 15 points that he usually gives that helps Clay only score 15. It wasn't there. Jordan Poole played terrible, and Draymond didn't play good tonight. So
Draymond was awful tonight.
And that's
Draymond
the
did
beauty
not
of
play
it.
good.
When you take away the defensive anchor in Draymond, you start feeling like, okay, they really got no defense right now. And that's when you start seeing the length, the body of the Celtics start coming into play, especially with Tatum. He's a fucking 6'7", 6'8", with a long ass wingspan. You say me, you out. You saying you got time, well, you out. I mean, you got Al Horford, you got Tice coming off the bench. You got Naismith that can get you blocks and runs and some shit like that. So we have a pretty deep core when it comes to some defensive mechanism next to Smart. And that's what people don't understand. But I like my little pest in Marcus Smart because I don't want him to play. I just want him to play straight defense. Just beat up the
Smart was getting cooked for a while.
You know,
Draymond.
just beat up the disruptor. That's all the fuck I ask from him. Just don't beat the shooter like he did in the last series. Just don't do it.
Hey,
When
Smart
the
was
shots
getting
come
cooked
to
a
him,
bunch.
I want him to take them and make them. I don't want him when he's bringing up the ball. I don't want him to just go right into taking the shot. That's not what
Exactly.
he's supposed to do.
Soft
And I
shit like
think he knows that.
You know what I'm saying? So
There was a few
for him,
times
it's
tonight
gonna be the
where
whole chocolate thing.
There was a few times tonight where he passed up the old type of Marcus Smart shots, where he would take the shots as guys are closing out on him, and then he goes and he switches out to make a play. So, like, that's got to be great for Celtics fans to see that he's not that same kind of, like, ridiculous mindset anymore.
Yeah, going just Hail Mary, trying to do the most and shit like that. My bro, like, what are you doing? Just go to the fundamental. That's all that you need to win these games. Stick
And
to the
he hit a big shot in the fourth quarter.
He had two back-to-back threes in the fourth quarter to extend the lead to, like, 20.
See, that certain times like those, that's great. But if you do it for the first 3 quarters, no, it's not going to work for his. It's not going to work in his favor.
All playoffs, he's been stepping up.
But the problem is,
look at
if
the
you're
Milwaukee
Boston,
series,
you can't
versus
expect to have a
Holiday.
fourth quarter.
Well, there was a
that
couple
all
of
the
games
time.
there was a couple of games that Marcus Smart had that had some questionable calls.
Always, that's Marcus.
You know
Smart.
what I'm saying? So not all the games in the series through the last 3 series, yeah, he's been playing great, but there was a couple of ones that that was like yeah, we'll give him like a slap in the wrist, but come on, bro, like you know this, like we've been through this hurdle before last season.
Not even last season, his whole career. Marcus Smart tends to be that guy who thinks he's better than he is a lot of the time, and ends up being the guy who takes more 3-point shots than everybody on your team.
He's putting up 20-point games throughout the playoffs. So it's like, who would have ever thought that Marcus Smart would be the starting point guard of the Celtics and would be, contributing this much? Not just defense.
That coaching staff,
it's Ime.
Yeah, that's been a big difference.
Ime's the only guy who gave Marcus Smart his shot.
Hey, Big E said, yo, listen, man, you got to use this shit over here to disadvantage over here, and we got to take this. So you doing a Paul Heyman, accentuate the positives, hide the weaknesses in this game.
This is where I give Ime so much credit, and this is turning into a Boston Celtics podcast now.
It sure is.
But like, what can you do?
I'm sorry, Mike, if you got
the Celtics won, so let's give them the flowers. And I plan to do the same thing with the Warriors. When the Warriors win, I'm giving them their flowers too. But Ime, as a coach, has won when he first got there. When players didn't want to buy in originally, he was like, "All right, cool, y'all are done now." Or can we try it my way? So now he's actually holding players accountable, where I don't think Brad Stevens knew what accountability was and how to make players be better. Like, granted, he got a ton out of Isaiah Thomas and a rookie group in Jaylen Brown, and then made the Eastern Conference Finals run with rookie Jason Tatum and second-year Jaylen Brown and third-year Marcus Smart, etc. And he got a lot out of those guys, but there was no more he could do. They kind of knew what was up, and they weren't really coached, and they didn't like being coached.
Yeah,
especially like that Kyrie Irving era was a little weird. And then when they went on a 16-game win streak, Kyrie goes
worst
out.
trade ever.
It's not because it taught your guys how to ball, so it wasn't.
It wasn't for me though.
For you, yes. But not statistically. 16-game win streak, and then he goes out, and then they go on this playoff run, and then he comes back the next year, and then Brad Stevens loses control of everything. That's where a guy like Ime would have been like, are we going to play basketball as a team or what? gives these guys a shot, says, all right, my turn to coach. Then they become the hottest team in basketball for the second half of the season. He gives Marcus Smart the reins. And there was reports coming out today that's like whenever Marcus Smart gets like in his head or starts doing something, Ime just looks at him and just goes, are you going to fucking play basketball or what? And then he just like remembers like, okay, let me stop playing around and let me just play Celtics basketball. So like Ime has brought culture to the Celtics for the first time since 2008.
Right.
Which is
I like
great to
Ime.
see.
I mean, he's the perfect addition to this team. The Boston Celtics players wanted a coach that they feel like they could relate to. And I feel like Ime is more the part than Brad Stevens. Brad Stevens is a really good basketball mind.
Brad Stevens, the GM.
He
I
has
think
had
is very good.
The Celtics prepared every year versus Golden State. They've always had Golden State's number. And even if Brad Stevens was coach, they still would have Golden State's number right now, I believe. But it's up to the players to believe in their coach and believe in everything like that. And I feel like they got a little more fight in them under Ime, and they're ready to listen to every word that he has to say.
Yeah,
But
this team has heart. This team has heart, man.
But more importantly,
Go
but
ahead.
more importantly though, Udoka, he already had experience with Smart, Tatum, and Brown before when he came to the team. When he came to the team, he was saying a few years back. So when you brought in that type of person in that they already know off rip, so they're gonna fall in the line. Once you have them fall in the line, everyone else is going to fall in line. That's the way that you have a team really giving their all when it comes to that. The rightful leader got to lead the rightful charge. And certain people may not be behind it. You know, now we actually put the pieces together. Brad Stevens actually brought in the right person. And Mike, you can call me crazy, but you remember how Duke said the very moment when Udoka fucking came in that last stretch that we got into the playoffs. His wife, we all know who the fuck that his wife is. He's getting some business to fuck at home. He's bringing that shit to the court. Dukes, you're lucky that I actually brought this bullshit up.
Yeah, Udoka's the man. Udoka is the man. He's a smart basketball mind. Part of that crazy Greg Popovich tree of coaching, which is the complete opposite of the Bill Belichick coaching tree. Because it's actually good.
Actually good.
So, like, shout out to the Celtics for taking game one in Golden State. But that was a nasty game to win. The way you literally lose 3 quarters and you win the 4th quarter by a large margin.
That's not going to cut it.
That can't happen.
Not worried at all, to be honest. It's a game of runs.
I appreciate the confidence.
It would be ideal not to let them get off to such a good run next
Exactly,
game,
that's what I'm
we
saying.
Can get off to that run.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, at halftime, we were down by how much?
It was only like a 7-point game.
Yeah, 6
right.
or 7.
So I mean, regardless of we get off to a good start or they get off to a good start, we could be up or we could be down at the half by 5-6 points. I still have confidence in us for that second half.
But here's the thing. Here's where I'm saying, like, the Celtic, you guys like didn't play great and you were only down 6. Like, if you were playing good basketball, you would have been up like 7 or 10.
Jason Tatum played terrible. We gave up way too many second chance points, most to Kevon Looney.
But Tatum's good for these games twice a series.
I don't think he played as bad as y'all are making it out to be.
He had 13 assists.
Nah,
exactly. Like he was just giving what the defense. He was doing what the defense was giving him.
It's just the fact that he was 3 for 17. Every shot that he took,
he could have shot better, but like I didn't feel like he was out there, and I was like, damn, he's just.
I mean, I didn't think he played great on defense either. He was not good on defense tonight. And granted, he had 13 assists, but I think that's because he became passive after going 2 for 14 before he missed his last 3 shots. And I don't think he was aggressive enough to get to the basket because it just seemed like he was just trying to get to his spots and shoot the midi. And then there's a couple, like there was the bullshit floater, the little bullshit Eurostep floater that he popped in the game for him driving. But I just didn't think he got to his spots as well as he usually does. And I think that was the game plan. But
he had a few open looks from 3.
Exactly, that he just
in certain areas
smoked.
he just didn't. Yeah, he didn't make them.
But that's I think is just because he shot a high volume and just didn't see anything go in.
Or maybe the whole defensive scheme from Golden State trying to neutralize him, make sure that he don't go off and let someone else like Jalen Horford, you know what I'm saying, that Horford got 25.
No, exactly.
He was telling our play other
There's
games.
a lot of outliers in this game. There's a lot of outliers in this game that
Tatum
never
only had 2 turnovers.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
no matter
what.
Turnovers. It wasn't like he was playing hard.
Like this whole game didn't have a lot of turnovers. Like at all. I think the person who had the most turnovers was Jaylen Brown with 4. Yeah. Jaylen Brown and Jordan Poole with 4.
13 assists off of 2 turnovers is pretty good.
It's very good, but when you're shooting that poorly and you're not playing great defense, it just kind of looks bad. But like they won in spite of him shooting terribly and putting the defense in transition.
Yeah, man, 13 assists later, at least at least he beat his own record on top of that. So at least, if I may not be able to shoot, I can still try to facilitate the ball and try to get someone going. So if I can't get going, I gotta get someone else to get going.
No,
that's
absolutely.
why we have teammates for. Sometimes one man, as we already talked about this before, one man cannot do it by his motherfucking self.
Yeah, but his team definitely picked him up today, not the other way around, like it usually is.
Guaranteed.
But what happened tonight? There's a lot of outliers that don't happen consistently.
I can't see Al Horford going.
I can't see Al Horford going 6 for 8 again.
If y'all are gonna rely on that, we can.
I can't see Jason Tatum scoring 12. It was 12 again.
Right. So Tatum will score more.
Tatum is good for one more game like this in this series. You have the inevitable Marcus Smart scorched earth game where he shoots 70% from 3. That'll probably happen game 5 or 6.
You're gonna have your Draymond game where he just wrecks everything.
I just need 15 from Al next game.
Yeah, I think 15 is more realistic, but even like I said on the pod on Thursday, I was like, I can see Al Horford get me 15, but I don't expect Al Horford to get me 15. I expect Al Horford to give me 10. Yeah, and then Derek White. And then Derek White, I don't know how, granted, he had a kid, he's probably going to score 40 the next game, and he's never going to miss a 3 again. But realistically, I expect 10 points out of Derek White. I don't expect 20 points out of Derek White. But here we are. He had his kid, and he's never going to miss it.
Listen, man, you at the dance. You gotta go hard, man.
I get that.
Even if you only come off the bench for 10 minutes, at least you gotta be able to do something because you're in the finals, but you might not be able to get this opportunity like that ever the fuck again. So some people are playing like this is their last time being on a championship team before they be like, yo, we're not either gonna resign you or you're gonna be part of a trade piece. And they'd be damn.
I get that.
When I was just starting to feel comfortable here, now I'm being traded, bro. That's how majority of these players be.
Yeah, but I can only go off of the sample size that's given in these playoffs, and the sample size has been Tatum's good for 2 of these meltdown games. Horford can get me 10 to 15, depending, consistently. Derek White will play really good defense, give me 10 to 8 to 14, depending on it, and then the occasional 20. And Jaylen Brown will have probably in this series, probably a 35-point game under his belt, and then again, Marcus Smart will probably shoot 70% from 3 in one of these games. So I can kind of predict the ebbs and flows of how the Celtics go, just because I just understand Celtics basketball. But then it's also I also know Jordan Poole's not going to shit the bed again.
You sure?
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Positive?
Yeah, no. I have
no bets.
Define shit the bed. Are we talking 12 points? Are we talking 10 points?
No, I'm not. I'm saying
shit the bed tonight.
7, 1 for 5 from 3, and 4 turnovers is terrible.
They're probably one more game I can see him shit the bed, but everything else, nah, I can't see him do it for.
I can't see him doing a 2, 4, 6. He shot just under 30% from the field. He shot 20% from 3 on 5 shots. And then 4 turnovers, and it was a minus 19 on 9 points. That's a bad game. That's shit the bed game. Where I can almost guarantee a 15 from him based off of sample size and what he's given me consistently. Do I expect him to give me 30 all the time? No. Do I know he can? Yes. Just like I expect to have one 30-point game from Klay Thompson in this series because he's good for one at least. Yeah. So, and then the eventual Draymond Green.
I would never say 25.
Like Draymond Green didn't even have his 8 points, 8 rebounds, 8 assists,
Draymond had
like
a horrible
3
game.
blocks, 2 steal games. Like that's also going to happen. But the Wiggins, if Wiggins can keep playing like this, with everybody else playing like normal, it could be tough. But then if Boston can get Jason Tatum to score 25, but also get Al Horford a consistent 15, a Derek White a consistent 15, Marcus Smart anywhere from 17 to 23, and then like I really like Peyton Pritchard in the series. I really like Peyton Pritchard in the series.
Yo, Peyton Pritchard has been the best draft. I mean, it's been like one of the best like young draft picks that we had gotten in like a good while. That kind of fell into his own, even coming off the bench, and he still give you productivity though. So I like that though. I like what they using him for.
I really like Peyton Pritchard in the series off the bench. To have one of those 18-point games.
Payne come off the bench as a 6 man or 7 man behind Grant Williams and shit. I'm fine with that.
I don't like Grant in this series, but I do like.
I know how you feel about him, Mars. So we don't gotta even dig deeper into this.
Well, that's not even me just hating him because I
know that though. It's just sometimes his play, sometimes his play can't be suspect, but some weird ass day, some random ass day, he'll go off on people. I'm like,
yeah, exactly.
The fuck, bro? Like you can't have an on and off switch like that.
I'm interested in see how Time Lord progresses in this series, though. I'm very interested to see what Golden State does to try to abuse him on the perimeter again, because that first half looked like he couldn't be out there.
I do like that block on Steph Curry, though.
Yes, like he played pretty good tonight, but like that first half and the beginning of the first half of the third quarter was suspect for him. So he may have to cut his minutes down more to keep Al Horford out there.
I would give him 20 to 25 minutes.
Yeah, because he got 24 tonight.
And for health reasons too and shit like that. I mean, like you don't want to have to keep re-aggravating the same injury to all of a sudden.
I thought he re-aggravated his knee in like the first 4 minutes.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
I was like, oh,
that's why I'm like, oh no, this is gonna be a problem right here, man. Now I'm in restrictions and shit. It's gonna have to hold him back for 15 minutes, 20 minutes tops.
Kevon Mooney is only 6'9". Like, so if Rob's not able to play
tonight, though,
we have to step it up. Like Al Horford, if you're gonna, if Time Lord's not in the game, Al Horford, you're playing center. Grant Williams playing power forward, whatever the case is. If Daniel Tice is subbed in, all you guys are 6'8" or 6'9". You got
Tice is also somebody who can't play in this series.
I think he can play in this. This is one series he can finally play in.
When he got in there, he was getting worked. He was getting worked. He was getting worked on defense. He's somebody just defensive liability. I can't see him playing this. Play Grant over Tice any way you can, because at least I know Grant
that early in the game for sure.
Because I know Grant will try to fight Tice. If he starts getting worked, he's going to kind of like start fading away.
But it was kind of nice to see Tice out there. I didn't expect to see him out there that early. But when you look at the Warriors depth chart, like they just got like a group of 8 to 10 guys easily that they can throw in there. Mm-hmm. And Iguodala is like one of their 9th or 10th guys.
Didn't expect to see Iguodala tonight.
I didn't either.
He has 7 points.
The second I saw him, I was like, oh, we got Iguodala sighting? I'm like, oh, we got Iguodala hitting threes?
3 for 4 shooting. It won't happen again. I don't think it'll happen again.
But here's the thing, like Iggy just hasn't played. They haven't had to play him.
So that's the tricky part.
He's just been resting.
He hasn't played, but it was good to see him back, but he looked rusty and he looked old.
He played pretty well for the time he was in there.
The point that I'm getting
this is when you know his time has come, bro. Like after this season, he just might be done.
I mean, he needs to retire. But I thought the minutes he gave Golden State tonight were solid minutes.
He played.
But I think that those minutes that he got tonight, you could give to Kuminga. And I think Kuminga fits in this series. Yes. So, like, it was fun to see Iggy. He did score. He did, he did some things, but he looked like he hadn't played in a month.
I definitely thought Kuminga would have been a better. I said that on Tuesday's pod. I was like, Kuminga might be the guy in this series.
He can fit. He can play in this series, and he can play well. But I don't know. Steve Kerr just has this thing where he only plays him if he has to.
It's not like Iguodala played a lot of minutes. He played 12 minutes. Maybe And I can't say cut Otto Porter's minutes down because he played
No,
great.
like
tonight.
Otto
Otto Porter's
great.
taking those minutes for sure.
Otto Porter's
Otto
played
Porter
great.
played great tonight. He played
But
great.
like maybe
So
when
whose
Draymond
minutes-
gets himself in
whose minutes
plow.
would you shave off then?
Well,
I
I
don't
think
think
you got.
Kuminga's
Well,
gonna
Kuminga
play.
played 1 minute. He
He
played
played
I don't
one.
one
think he's
He
minute.
gonna
was
play.
garbage time. So it's like
Like-
you either got to cut Iggy's minutes in half, or the first person off the bench for Draymond's got to be Kuminga.
Like you have Draymond, you got Wiggins, Looney, Curry, Thompson as your starters. That's 5 off rip. And then
If you want to reserve,
Poole,
if you want to
Poole,
reserve a few people to be at least sturdy
Otto
enough
Porter.
and you have that durability to even go in the last 6 or 7 games, then you need to shave down at least Draymond's minutes and then have him come in where it's time to get serious, or if we're really trading from behind, at least he could be the defective mechanism, to be able to
Outside of garbage time, they really only went 8 deep tonight,
Mhm.
and they could have went 9.
I was expecting maybe Gary Payton the second.
Well, he's not
was
ready.
really it.
Yeah, I was surprised they even activated him.
Heard he was
Um,
available.
Yeah,
I heard he was
I heard he was
too.
available, but there's no way I thought he would be playing.
Yeah,
No way
I
I
don't
thought
see
he'd
a
play.
world where he's playing unless like everyone's in foul trouble.
Even so, like I've kind of been keeping up with his stats during the regular season. He's been getting like 15 minutes here or there, and he'll have an impact on the game, especially
Yeah,
defensively.
absolutely.
But he wasn't going to do much for them.
Like outside of
Offensively.
Poole, the guards played great. So it's like Kuminga could have made a difference on the forward front, and it's not like, but the real besides Jaylen Brown having his 24, like
He had a
We
good
would-
fourth quarter, Dylan.
he had a very good
10
fourth
points
quarter.
in the
Start.
fourth
No,
quarter.
but no, this wasn't me shitting on Jaylen Brown. This was not me shitting on Jaylen Brown. I was more so shitting like from the forward standpoint. Outside of Jaylen Brown, the forwards didn't really do anything because it was Al Horford.
So far, there's 3 candidates for Finals MVP. Way too early.
Well, it's game 1.
Finals MVP. Oh yeah, but the 3 candidates. Number 3 is Steph Curry. He lost the game 1, but he had 34 points. Number 2 is Jaylen Brown. Al Horford stole his thunder that fourth quarter.
Damn.
because Jaylen started that fourth quarter.
I would have put Derek White over Jaylen Brown. To be fair,
Jaylen Brown is the reason why they got back in that fourth quarter.
So you would
It
give
was-
They were
Derek
down
White
double
the
digit, and
so
he
you would give
willed
Derek
them
White the
back
icky
in that
treatment?
game. So this
Derek
win
White
wouldn't
went
even
6
exist
for
without
11,
Jaylen.
had 21 points, and was a plus 25.
So Dylan, so if that happens, so basically we're gonna call Derek White's MVP the Iguodala thing because
Well,
he did the
Iguodala
same
won
thing with
Finals
Golden
MVP.
State.
Iguodala averaged 8 points a game in that series where he won Finals MVP. This is a little different.
Exactly what I'm thinking. So if Derek White
He scored 3 less points than Jaylen Brown and was more efficient.
Yeah, but
Nah,
I would
it's just
say
the
like,
fact
if
of
Derek
the
White
way
gets,
he
like, at
scored
least
his
10, 12
points.
points.
It was
But
the
I
way
could pull
Jaylen
the same
scored
thing
his
with
points
Derek
in the
White.
fourth.
Derek White's points were all timely baskets in the middle of runs.
They actually were, but
Yeah.
but again, they didn't come in the fourth, and they didn't help us necessarily. Well, of course they helped.
They
us
did
win the game.
actually.
But-
Derek White's threes and the fourth quarter
Yeah.
tied the
Yo,
game.
Derek White's
Finals
threes was
MVP is gonna
what kept us in
always
that
tell a
game for the
story.
last like 3 minutes in the middle of that quarter.
You're gonna look back at Finals MVP. You're gonna look at 1 or 2 games, and you're gonna say, "Yeah, that was that fourth quarter that Jaylen had that got him as a candidate, and it was that fourth quarter that Al Horford had that has him as number 1 candidate right now.
No,
25
Al
points.
Horford. I'm not arguing Al Horford. Al Horford would be the number 1 guy in a Finals
His
MVP.
his first ring, and then on top of his first Finals MVP, bro,
It's one
he'll
game.
be on sky high mode.
It's
Sky
one game.
fucking
It's one game. That's why it's like the way
He's
too
not
early
gonna be
Finals
able to-
MVP.
Yeah,
sustain
yeah,
it.
yeah.
And Jaylen Brown's going to be able to sustain it and get 20 points every single one of these games.
But
I
Trent,
would-
but-
I
would
because
bet that
because
doesn't
yeah, you already know if this thing
I'd
propels
put
to
money
a
on
game
that
5,
doesn't
game
happen.
6 situation, and Tatum goes off for 2 or 3 games, you know Tatum.
Tatum's already in the hole 1 game behind Jaylen.
But the whole
Jaylen
Jalen
can
Brown's
at
going to
least
get
say,
you 20
I got
points
the
every
fourth
game
quarter.
thing
I
isn't
had
real.
10 points in the fourth quarter of this game, and I had 24 points.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
already 1 game down. So when we're talking game 5, game 6, you need
Yeah,
another good
Yeah,
Jaylen
'cause
game.
I'm gonna say that
That's
we ain't looking
Finals
at no
MVP
sweep
right
here,
there.
ladies and gentlemen. I mean,
You one step
this
there.
could be a game 6 or game 7 situation.
Yeah.
Tatum was
So-
first team
So
All
within the
NBA.
next, I would say the next 2 games is when you're gonna say, okay, we know who the MVP is probably gonna be. 75% chance.
First
I
team
don't know
All
about that.
NBA.
I
Larry
think
Bird
I think
trophy.
it'll be game 4. Game
I just
4
want it for
is when
Jalen.
you'll probably see who the MVP will kind of be, depending. But a lot of things could change.
Who
I
the
saw,
refs
LeBron, I
favor
saw
most.
LeBron come back from 3-1, so a lot of things could change.
Goat things. I know we're in here with 2 Celtics fans, so I don't even know if I want to ask what our predictions are for game 2.
I mean, Trey just tried to
Shut
tell
the
me
fuck-
Jalen
yo,
Brown's going to
Mike,
score
shut the
20
fuck
points
up,
every
man.
game
You
in the
already know
series,
where
and
the
that's
fuck
just
I
not
stand.
true.
Game 6 back in Boston. When we win, it's gonna be exactly how the 2008 finals were. We won in game
He
6.
averaged 23
Quote
last series.
me
I don't see
on
anything
that.
changing this series.
Did you
Well-
forget the games where he had like 14 that series too? And that kind of got outweighed by his 45-point game?
Listen, watch. He's gonna have 20 points next game. Watch.
But y'all understand that in order for us to get to game 6, y'all have to lose. So
I know, and this is where
are
game
y'all
2.
are y'all gonna lose
Game-
tomorrow? Game 2.
Game
Is that
2
the
is
news?
normally with the bounce back, the differential, the new schemes start coming into play. So obviously, game 2, and Golden State is not going to lose 2 straight games at home. You know
If
that.
Boston
bro.
likes to punch and then
I'm
get
never
punched
gonna say
back.
never. I'm never gonna say never.
So
You're not
we
gonna
see another
have me
boxing
sitting here
match again.
saying
Yeah,
that we're
no, this
definitely
I fully expect this to be a boxing match because Boston's outside of the first series where they fucking got us the fuck out of there. They like to punch and then get punched back, and then they punch and they punch back, and then they punch, get punched back, and they punch. Like that's just how it goes. So we'll
a
see.
Game 2
a
is a
two-piece
must-win
is
for
played
Golden
to the ground.
State, though.
absolutely.
I have 2
Absolutely.
7-game
Absolutely.
series to show.
Games should be Golden State. Yes,
Absolute must-win for Golden State.
I just can't see the Warriors going 0-2, and then you have to go to games 3 and 4 in Boston, and then you're asking them to say we need to steal these next 2 games to go the fuck back home. Nah,
I
They need to
would
win
not
game
be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked if they lost game 2 at home, won game
I
3 in
would.
Boston, and then somehow won game 5 in Boston.
I think
no, actually, game
Oh,
6.
nah.
No, game 6 is in Boston.
Game 6 in Boston.
Yeah,
We won game
I
5
can
at
see-
home and made it game 6.
I could see Golden State winning 2-3, Boston winning 4, and then it's a new series again. At that point, it's a 3-game series.
Oh, the game 5 pivotal game moment is gonna make you want to rip your hair out. No, we don't. Oh my god.
Not me, because I don't have anything
I
on
was saying,
mine.
it's gonna
Yeah.
make
Shut
you
the
want
fuck-
to
yo,
rip your
Dylan,
hair
shut the
out.
fuck
I'll
up.
be-
Shut the
I'll be
fuck up.
fine.
Logically, I
No,
would say
no,
that
stop
Golden
it.
State should tie up the series game 2. But
Yeah,
I mean,
I think so.
my confidence is through the roof. Like, I could easily see us winning that game. I could easily.
Well,
This is an
see us
evenly
winning that
matched
game.
finals. Like anything
It
can happen.
You listen. You got the top offense versus the top defense. What more could you ask for?
I've heard so much shit.
Jason
talking
Tatum to
from-
score fucking
from
30.
Golden
That's what I
State
could ask
fans.
for. I love
How
Jason
about
Tatum.
how about if Marcus Smart makes a half? How about if Marcus Smart makes a half court shot? Then I'll be like, okay, no, this is destined for us to win now. This is manifest
If
destiny.
Boston wins, I need Marcus Smart to win the Finals MVP. So
We
need to figure that out.
Yo, listen, man, I would have been like, yo, listen, man. Even though
put a statue
Horford-
outside for him. Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart.
Marcus Smart. Hey, I'm outside of TD Garden next to the Marcus Smart statue.
That's
Come take a picture, pal.
If he gets one, no, listen, if he gets a statue out here in Boston, man, I wouldn't be surprised. But I think it'll probably be Tatum first before anybody else.
Nah, it would be Boston. Marcus Smart is literally the heart and soul of
We're
Boston.
gonna start talking.
No,
about
I get that
jersey
though. But
retirements and
sometimes
shit
these
again.
organizations, man, they don't give a fuck about
If
none
we
of
win
that.
the title, they're gonna start talking about Al Horford's jersey being retired.
Well, they
funny
retired
conversation.
KG's jersey off of one ring, so
They sure did, and they talked about how we changed the culture, and I believe he deserved it. So it's
he
like,
did.
if Al wins the championship,
He
the case
better.
for him is interesting.
Listen, if he wins, like if we do win and something he plays phenomenal for the next few games, I wouldn't be surprised that he won the Finals MVP because that's a double whammy right there. You just lost your grandfather before Game 7 of the last series, and then now you're in the finals. Come on, this is manifest destiny for him right now.
It's still game.
And the first Dominican,
that's the one thing I have to keep telling
and the first
myself.
Dominican, to actually do it though. So
Yeah, I don't know.
Come on.
I don't think that it's going to be sustainable for him to win Finals MVP.
Hey,
I
these
think
series
I think there's a world where he can win Finals MVP averaging 14 points.
Now
But
he could
it's
have
unbelievable defense.
some good
40
games
boys.
every game, and then have like
Or
a
he can get
game-winning
double
block
every game.
in one game, and then everybody will look back to game one and then say, "All right, Al deserves Finals MVP because his collection of games, including game one, makes him a viable candidate." Depending on what happens in the last couple of games, like if Al Horford has a game-clinching block, that could win him Finals MVP. But
Can't get
outside
the
of that,
block, a
I just
shot,
don't see him.
anything.
I just don't see it necessarily happening. Tatum's already behind one from this game.
Well, we're going to have to find out which one of our 4 Celtics might actually become the Finals MVP. So now that's like a tug of war right there.
Gotta win before we get there.
That does. It's going to be it's a tug of war.
That's what me and Mike are keep saying this one thing. The guys are bleeding green down there. It's game one.
I should prepare for the slap back.
Because if we do this when we do this again on Sunday, and if Golden State wins and it's all blue, we're gonna be like, "Hey, so is Steph gonna be Finals MVP or is it gonna be Kevon Looney?"
Is Pritchard still winning the
MVP?
I'll probably
Jalen Brown.
Are we gonna give Jonathan Kuminga Finals MVP for the 1 minute that he played?
It'll be the mandatory. Like Steph will obviously have to move up to 1. If he does another 30-point game and Golden State wins game 2 and they tie up the series,
40 points. He needs to go off of 40.
By default, he's likely because Tatum didn't have a good game 1 scoring wise. I do think Jalen's gonna get 20 points, but he didn't have 34 like Steph Curry. So and then so if it's tied up 1-1, Steph
the
Curry's
law of
gonna be
averages will
#1
fix everything
for sure.
out. Because again, the Celtics had a lot of outliers that don't normally happen on the offensive side of the ball, but everything will kind of correct itself.
Hopefully,
it always does.
Hopefully, it does.
There's always the game 2 or the game 3 is going to be the game that kind of fixes that. One of those is going to be the Jaylen Brown has a terrible game, which we've seen every series. So we'll see.
All right, man. I'm looking forward to this happening because I think he's going to step up. He's going to continue stepping up. Last series was a totally different series. It was a physical series with Jimmy Butler. Half of the time, they were forcing the ball out of his hands, being physical. It was a foul. Half of those times.
I watched him score 45 one game and then like 8 the next game. So
and half of those points were half of those were turnovers.
Yeah,
a lot of those were turnovers. So.
And Jaylen Brown all season has had a problem with consistency.
Yes,
and you can't tell me he hasn't. He averaged 23, but like he's the king of scoring 40 and then 12 the next game.
But we'll see. I guess we're gonna see how he bounces back.
Yeah, and that averages out to about like 25. So
we will see, and we will be right back here on Sunday to talk about it. I hope you guys are here.
The Lord's Day. Oh. The Lord's Day, then you got Hell, and then you got the weak ass Hell in the Cell pay-per-view, which is nothing but a Raw pay-per-view, by the way, folks.
Pretty
so
much,
I'm not even looking forward to that either.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. I completely forgot that was happening.
Yeah, because you got NXT in your house on Saturday, and it's Sunday's Hell in the Cell.
Which is all fine. You know, I'm resting as your.
You're resting.
I'm resting. Your current OTTR champion is resting. I don't have to make no picks. I don't have to nothing. Sit back and just watch.
Suck my tailpipe, Mike. Yo, listen, man. When we come back from break, I'm gonna add to my belt, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, that's that. Firstly, that was heavy. That was heavy.
Yo, what you wait a minute. What you mean by that?
Secondly, I'm on break, so I don't have to worry about you. But it just
wait.
We didn't have a show where I could come on and declare myself as champion.
I'm the one that granted y'all break. So if anything, I'm on break, motherfucker. How about that? Otherwise, I wouldn't be here working a fucking second job. My ass would have been asleep.
Like I'm about to in a few minutes.
Don't go there, my nigga. Like I said, you keep my belt nice and warm over there. Keep that belt over there in a nice velvet bag, and I'm gonna just pick this shit up whenever that we do come back. And believe me, you're gonna be crying about it too. And Cyber's gonna be laughing at your face.
But guess who's laughing right now?
You hate your guts.
Guess who's laughing right now? It's the OTTR champ. That's who's laughing right now. That's who's laughing right now.
You'll be okay. You'll be okay. Keep my belt warm. Keep my belt warm. That's all I'm going to say. Keep my belt warm.
You guys know what part of the show it is.
I'm coming back for my Goldie, bitch.
Man, let me hit the promo.
Like,
share,
share,
subscribe. Thank you. You see it, hit it. Gosh, unless you want to curse me out anymore.
No, I'm done.
To get to these goodbyes because it's 1:30 in the morning. It's
so hateful, Mike. No, I wasn't even trying to do that.
Hateful.
But yeah, when you say your whole OTTR champion joint, I'm like, bro.
I mean,
really?
As we call on this podcast, that's facts and stats. That's what that is.
Yep.
That's facts.
Yeah, you better show me some car facts, my nigga. What you talking about, bro?
What are you talking about?
You better show me them car facts, those B. What you mean?
It's a simple question.
You lost to me before. What you mean? You lost to
all of that's irrelevant. Who is the current?
Hey, listen, you're a 3-time champion, but yeah, you had to lose twice, right? Oh, don't go there, my G. Don't go there. Just move on.
Ric Flair had to lose 15 times to become 16 times.
You're a 3-time champion, but yet you had to lose twice in order for you to get number 3. Come on.
You'll get your title shot.
I know. Like he's acting like he's got to earn this title shot. He's already got it.
What you
the contract is signed.
I know.
You already got it.
What you mean?
None of this is necessary. I'll see you in July. I'll see you in July.
Yo, I can't wait till SummerSlam until I take my belt back. You son of a bitch.
I just am enjoying the moment, living in the moment.
Mm.
Listen, I'll do you a solid. I'll put another graphic up for you.
I don't want to see that. See, I thought he was gonna throw some shade at me. If I some shit, I'm like, wow, that's petty party. That's some evil shit, bro.
Celtics win.
Celtics win game 1. Do you want to go first? Do you want to have the first solo?
It's gonna be your new sooner or later. It's gonna be your new 3-time OTTR champion. Fuck you, Big Mike, because I am.
So you lost twice too.
That's what he's saying, Dylan.
Thank you, Dylan. Thank you, Dylan. Hit that like, share, subscribe. We're on vacation till July 29th. We'll be back the day before SummerSlam, which is July 30th this year. Season 6. We all do big things. Shout out to the Independent Wrestling Network. We're gonna be on that joint real soon. We got a couple of new projects coming out, and we got our very first all-female podcast segment coming onto the network. So we working on that, man. We working over here. Enjoy y'all summer, you sons of bitches. Celtics all day and day. Celtics is 6, bitch. How about that? Now we done. Blackheart out. OTTR the mall. We in here. Out.
What's good is Trey. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to Speak On It podcast. Thanks for having me on, guys. You guys can follow me on social media. I'm on Twitter, Steve'sBanner_18. Love talking Celtics, love talking NBA. Go Celtics. I hope we could pull out game 2. I'm expecting a bounce back game from Golden State, so nothing's going to surprise me. We got to be prepared for the punches.
Podcast Poppy.
Shout out to Blackheart and Trevor coming on at 1:30 in the morning on the day of my birth. Appreciate you guys. I was born an hour ago at like 12:04, and while I was celebrating my birthday, talk about the fucking Celtics. Great.
Happy fucking birthday, man.
Happy birthday to you.
Shout out to Al Horford. De lo mio now. Dominicano. Al Horford. I was watching the fourth quarter of my father-in-law, who's Dominican as fuck, and he straight from the island, doesn't speak a ton of English, and he watches Al Horford hit 2 threes, goes, "Woo, Al Horford, Dominican," and then he just leaves. That was our bonding for the night. So appreciate everybody stopping by, watching. You guys are great. We'll be back on Sunday
night. We will be back in the building. Yes, happy birthday, Dylan. Yes, thank you to all the listeners. We're here post-game live. Like I said, we will be back Sunday night. I don't know what time the game starts, 8 or 9 on Sunday. They usually are
starts
on
9.
Sunday. It's 9 o'clock on Sunday. Yeah, so We'll be here post
8
game
o'clock
wrapping it
Sunday.
up. Oh, it is 8 o'clock.
It's 8
Okay.
o'clock.
Oh, it is 8 o'clock. Okay.
Yeah, it's Sunday, so they're starting a little earlier. So it'll be 5 o'clock West Coast time.
Prime time.
Prime time on Sunday. Thank you to Anchor, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, Twitch, StreamYard, and as of today, we've got the update. We are now on Amazon Music and on Audible. So yes,
Oh,
wherever you get them podcasts, follow us. We are here. We are taking over. So from me to you, we'll see you. I don't really have much left for the team. I do,
Mike, you ain't shit, bitch.
well, normally I would
he's
retort
correct.
that.
You are not shit.
No, I say you, Big Mike. I didn't say Dylan. I didn't say
No,
Trey.
I said, hey, you are correct. He is not shit.
Dylan, I was gonna play something for you for your birthday, but now you co-signed with Blackheart.
Don't pull no Enoch shit on him, man. You better play him his birthday song.
You ain't shit.
You see?
Now you less shit because now you're being a bitch.
Stop being petty, bro. Stop being petty, bro.
Oh no, petty is what I will be when his Rangers lose. That's when I will be.
Oh, shout out to the Rangers winning game 1.
Oh, good God. This nonsense.
So what's up, Mike? Starting to get a little sick there?
No, it's game 1.
I'm sorry.
What have we been saying all night, Dylan?
It's game 1.
It's game.
My favorite part about the Tampa Bay game yesterday was there's a minute and a half left in the game, and then everyone's just fighting. Literally everybody was just fighting.
They were like, you know what? I'm gonna get this in before we go. Before I go, hold this left hand.
Yeah, we're not gonna win this game. We didn't play great, but I'm hitting you. And then we're gonna roll around on the ice, and then we're gonna roll on the ref, and then we're gonna fight. And then we're gonna fight. And then we're gonna fight.
And then we're gonna fight.
There's like 5 fights happening at once. I'm just sitting there. I was like, well, why? Y'all
Wayne
are mad.
Gretzky had to be smiling.
But shout out to hockey being the one sport where you could just beef it out right on the fucking court.
Right.
I know you hear it. It's just for you, Dylan. This is how we're gonna take it out tonight.
Hey!
I don't know how much longer we can play this before the copyright gets us.
Happy birthday!
And it shuts down the stream.
They literally shut us down, but hopefully we can.
You just gonna get that copyright claim.
Well, we just won't make no money. It's my birthday gift to you, Dylan. We just won't make no money off this episode. We'll just
my birthday gift to him is a song.
Word, I got a family. I don't need to feed them. Fuck it. It's worth it. Oh, why didn't we have any money today for fucking porridge, Daddy? Oh, we played Happy Birthday on
the podcast. They get paid for it. Here you go.
Birthday to you.
Hey!
That's how you know I made it. I'm getting the black Happy Birthday song. I ain't getting the regular Happy Birthday song. That's how you know I made it. Mama, we did it.
Oh my God.
Being racially ambiguous is working out in my favor. We did it, Mama.
From us to you, we will say on that note, good night.